What's going on, Matrix? White Dragon with the New York Jets coming to you with another Matrix Unplugged episode. We got the whole crew here tonight. We got PB the God with the Rams. We got Alpha Male with the Ravens. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? What's going on, Mike?
Good people, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of the Matrix Madden podcast.
Good to have you guys back. Real quick before we get started, I'm not sure how many people we got watching, but I want to give a shout out to everybody this year for being in the league. A lot of good things this year. I think we really laid the foundation for a good league going forward. Everybody played their games. We didn't have any issues with scheduling for the most part. We advanced on time every single time. Only had a few people rage quit and get mad, but we're going to have that. It's going to happen. That's part of playing Madden franchise. As long as we just have it only being 2 or 3 people a season, it's not going to be too big of an issue. Make sure you guys help us fill the league up when we have some openings. Make sure you read the rules, understand everything, but fantastic job this year, you guys. Fantastic job. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into the season awards, you guys. We're all the way done with the season. We're in the playoffs now. Really good year. We had a lot of good teams miss the playoffs. A lot of good teams make the playoffs. So let's jump straight into it. In the AFC side, Lamar Jackson pretty much took home all the awards. Lamar Jackson got 2019 MVP. He got the Offensive Player of the Year for the AFC, and he got the Best Quarterback of the Year for the AFC. Lamar Jackson was a cheat code this season. I want to say he had over 60 touchdowns. I mean, this guy was ridiculous. No matter who he played, he went against the best defenses. He was throwing it up in all his division games. Sherrod, what were his stats looking like for this year?
Listen. I'm going to need you to have some more energy when you're talking about Mr. Jackson. This guy's, Mr. Jackson is something else, man. I don't mean to toot my horn, but with all due humbleness and respect, Action Jackson is doing the same thing he did on Sunday on the video game. First off, let's start. 5,413 yards, and he's still disappointed because he was about 60, 70 yards short for the record I think Peyton Manning has. 216 completions out of 344 attempts. That equals to 62%. The guy is pissed off. His draft review said he was just a runner. He said, middle fingers to you all. 67 touchdowns and 28 interceptions. This guy is unbelievable. And the thing about it, right now he's just passing. Next year, you guys look out for Mr. Takeoff.
Look, next year I need somebody to break this dude's legs. You guys get some players that got the big hitter trade. I'm sick of this dude. So go after this guy, break his legs, take him out next year, because otherwise I don't see anybody slowing him down. So moving on, we got Quentin Bell. He brought home the 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year award for the AFC. That's Danny out there running the Raiders. He's one of our commissioners. He's the AFC commissioner. He did a great job getting pressure on the quarterback this year. Sherrod, what are the stats looking like for Quentin Bell out there?
First off, let me say, this guy's unbelievable. His ratings of 88 speed and 92 acceleration allowed this guy to get 20 sacks this year. Now, mind you, this is a rookie. A low review from his draft review. And he took it and he strided on for excellence. 20 sacks this year, 38 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. This guy is amazing. Standing at 6'4", 253 pounds. He made Prairie View A&M College proud.
You know, and what's crazy is everybody thought that it was going to be Clelin Ferrell that was going to bring home the awards, and you know, he was that first-round draft pick, and it was nice to see Quentin Bell come out and really show out. So, Danny, props to you, man. A hell of a job, Quentin Bell. He's going to be a nice piece for the future. So, moving on to some offensive awards. The 2019 Best Wide Receiver of the Year for the AFC and the 2019 Offensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC was Marquise Hollywood Brown. This guy was unstoppable. He was going deep down the field. He wasn't trying to run out routes. He wasn't running slants. He was running flies, nines, straight down the field every time, and nobody could stop him. Not one person. Nobody slowed this guy down. Sherrod, what was this guy's stats looking like? Because I know it was stupid.
Unfathomable. First and foremost, let's give this guy his ratings. This guy has a 97 speed and 97 acceleration, 98 agility. He showed out so much this year, they gave him a streak specialist ability. Over 2,000 yards, 66 receptions, 28 touchdowns. Yes, he shattered Randy Moss' record of 23. Shattered it. 120 yards per game, almost 600 yards rack. This guy's amazing. Played every game this year. Good guy. He is the cousin of Antonio Brown. He's doing the same thing he did on Sunday. This guy's amazing.
Absolutely ridiculous. You guys have got to start playing some defense, man. If you are in the AFC North, play some defense, man. Put some speed guys out there. I don't care what you got to do, but slow this guy down, man. I don't know what y'all are doing, putting 11 in the box or some crap like that, but you guys got to put it together, man. Like, y'all got to start playing some defense, play over top. Hell, play prevent if you have to. But let's move it on because I'm tired of seeing these damn Ravens on my screen. Here we got Le'Veon Bell, 2019 best running back of the year for the AFC, looking good up there with the Gotham City Jets. Sherrod, let me know some stats with this guy.
What stats did he not achieve? First off, Le'Veon Bell, entering his 27th year. This guy's a superstar X Factor.
27 years old.
27 years old. After taking a whole year off, he's still a superstar X Factor. First one free. Spin cycle. Oh, he will spin your world. And he also has the arm bar. Unbelievable. Time the tap button for stiff arm, and he's out of there. 235 attempts, 1,786 yards. He averaged 7.6 yards a carry. Jeez, 2 carries. He has plus first down. 19 touchdowns. 111 yards per game. Only 3 fumbles out of 235 attempts. This guy's amazing. 54 broken tackles out of 16 games played. Le'Veon Bell, y'all. He might be on the trade block too. You guys pay up.
And, I think I had a little bit of receiving yards with him too. He did okay. I didn't even plan on killing it with him this year. I tried to build up some of my young receivers, got some guys I picked up, and it just kind of fell on my lap. I couldn't not use him, but he really he helped me win a lot of games.
He led your team second in receptions at 55 receptions, 690 yards, almost 1,000.
So
12.5 a catch. So he catches the ball and breaks free. 2 touchdowns, 452 racks. Oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, he had about 2,300 combined yards with him. It was a nice season with him. But let's move it on. Back to the Ravens again. They brought home the 2019 Best Offensive Lineman of the Year award. Marshall Yanda, number 73, big white boy, corn-fed white boy. He's locking it down up in the middle. Sherrod, what was it like having him on your line up there?
Now, first off, you have to give me a Belichick award for this transitional position move. Yonder was playing guard, and I said, listen, Yonder, I got young boys on the O-line at my tackles, young boys at my guard. I'm going to need you to make the transition to center, and I'm going to need you to show them how it's done. And boy, did he show them how it's done. He only allowed 1 sack out of 16 games. Downs played, he led my entire team with 657 yards. At 34 years old, he remains 93 strength, 94 run block, 91 pass block. But most importantly of all that, he was able to be the captain on the O-line because he got a 94 awareness. This guy deserved this award.
Yeah, I wish I had somebody like that on my line. It looks like he just opened the holes up for you. My line is trash, but who knows? You might put him on the block. I know he's getting up there in age, but let's keep it on moving out to the Los Angeles Chargers. Joey Bosa brought home the 2019 Best Defensive Lineman of the Year award with the AFC. That's Lubu Dynasty out there, Sonny, and he really turned a lot of heads this year. He used to never make the playoffs in leagues we've had before. Hell, I don't think he's had a winning record before. He's number 2 in the AFC now, and Joey Bosa is a big part of it. What was Joey Bosa doing out there, Sherrod?
He was being unstoppable, short of words. This guy has a superstar X Factor ability, unstoppable force. He has a finesse specialist. He's one of very few, if not the only person in the game that has this finesse specialist. Defenders with this ability have faster finesse move animations during the pass rush. He also has the edge threat. This guy toppled out with 27 sacks, 56 tackles, and most importantly, 11 tackles for loss. That means he played the run and he killed quarterbacks. Standing at 6'5", 280 pounds. This guy's a tank.
Yeah, he's blowing up plays in the backfield. Glad to see Sonny doing well with him. Joey Bosa looks like a force to be reckoned with for the future. So, what a coincidence. We're back to those Ravens. Earl Thomas III, number 29. He got the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year award for the AFC, and he brought home the 2019 Best DB of the Year award for the AFC. Earl the Pearl, you guys, if y'all are trying to go up top, Earl's picking it off. He had over a dozen interceptions, just absolutely ridiculous. What were his stats looking like this year, Sherrod?
I'm glad you corrected yourself, or FCC was going to give us a fine. His name is Earl the Pearl. Earl the Pearl. Earl the Pearl. You got to get it right. Definitely, we was in stiff competition with this player all year. We had a Buda Baker, a couple other guys out there doing big things as far as the DP position. But this DB right here, he's the top of the line. 83 tackles, 34 assists, 49 solo. He wrapping up, y'all. He even got a sack or two. 6 tackles for loss, 19 interceptions out of 16 games, 13 deflections. Guess what, you guys? He also ran them back a couple of times. A few fumble recoveries. Earl the Pearl, he's amazing.
Yeah, but you're going to have to replace him here soon. He's, what, 31, 32 now?
Yeah, Earl the Pearl got 9 years in the league. He's getting up there. He's 30 years old. He remained a superstar, X Factor, with multiple abilities. I currently got some guys in the lab, but he's going to ride the same sunset that Ed Reed rode. Earl the Pearl, baby.
Well, we've got another Ravens player on here. If you guys are kind of understanding this theme here, there's a lot of purple up here. You guys got to do better. When y'all see the Ravens on your schedule, stop going for it on fourth. Stop trying to get stats. He is going to abuse you for being a dummy. Justin Tucker, the biggest leg in the game, best kicker in the game, 2019, best kicker for the AFC. Sherrod, let me hear some stats for this guy.
Well, this guy is perfect. 100% in field goals.
God.
He made every field goal he attempted. The longest one was a 58-yarder. 98% in extra points attempts. We did get a block kick for an extra point. Other than that field goals, he's 8 for 8. But let me tell you one thing about this guy, what makes this guy special. He was the most exciting player on my team, believe it or not, when I got him, second to Lamar. And the whole reason being, this guy is a clutch kicker. So guess what? You cannot ice him. Save your timeouts in fourth quarter. You can't ice him. He's a clutch kicker. It doesn't work on him.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I definitely need to go ahead and get you to send him to me up there with the New York Jets. Pepe, I hope you're on board, brother, because you're about to let everybody know what's up with the NFC.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Peyton, so we're starting off with the NFC. We got Dwayne Haskins Jr. with the Redskins. That's JT the Boss running that team up there. He won the 2019 Offensive Rookie of the Year award for the NFC. Peyton, what were the stats looking like for Dwayne Haskins out there in Washington?
Well, Dwayne Haskins, man, he had 4,100 yards. He had 382 attempts. He had 236 completions with a 61% completion rating. This man was averaging 256 yards per game with passing. He had 101.9 throwing rating. So, I mean, he was looking nasty, man. Very nasty with the Redskins.
You know, and this is a rookie. I mean, this is a rookie out here abusing defenses.
I believe in the NFC. He was only second in passing touchdown too, so he was pretty up there, especially for a rookie. That's crazy.
Definitely. And, you know, he carried these Redskins to a playoff berth. So good props. Good job, guys. Keep it moving. Brian Burns out there with the Carolina Panthers. Spider-Man Brian Burns. He won the 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year award for the NFC. This Panthers defense was full of studs from left to right. Made a lot of trades. He had a lot of good young guys on his team. But Brian Burns looked like he was one of the best players on this team. One of the best players in the league, Peyton. So what are the stats looking like for Brian Burns? What did he do this year?
Oh, man. Yeah, Lord jeez, I'm looking at it right now. This man had 38 sacks. 38 sacks. That is ridiculous. 58 solo tackles. He had 2 interceptions. But what's crazy is about his rating is this man has 88 speed, 95 acceleration, 90 pursuit, and 92 finesse moves. This man's getting back there. He's all over the field.
And this guy's what, 22, 23, something like that?
22 years old.
Yeah, so for the rest of this franchise, he's going to be winning awards.
Right. And just to interject real quick, this guy also achieved superstar ability in just his rookie year. Under pressure, and he has another one he can unlock at 2+ more points overall. 88 overall just as a rookie.
And people were worried about not having enough XP. Get out of here, man. Let's keep it on moving. With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there was a big trade this season, and a lot of people didn't know who was going to win the trade. It was between the Panthers and the Bucs. Obviously, Cam Newton played a big part in that for the rebuild for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He won the 2019 Best Quarterback of the Year award for the NFC. Cam Newton kept it going. He transitioned really well from Carolina down to Tampa Bay. Peyton, what's the stats looking like for Cam Newton?
Yeah, man. He also threw for 3,400 yards, 271 attacks. He had 160 completions, so he had pretty good completion percentage. Was about a 60% complete percentage. He had 103.3 rating. I believe that's the second in the NFC. That's nuts. And he was also averaging 12.9 average yards per attempt. So I mean, he was every time he threw it, damn near was the first down every time he threw it.
Was he getting it going in the run game? What were his stats looking like in the run game?
Yeah. I'm trying to look at that right now. It's not showing up. I'm just looking at the pass.
He has 927 yards rushing with the running back, but with Cam, he had 464 yards rushing. I see what made this guy so dangerous. He had a dynamic rushing game. Cam Newton was able to deceive people and take off. 6 touchdowns rushing as well with Cam Newton.
Wow, so almost 500 yards rushing with 6 touchdowns on the ground. That's pretty nice. Good dual threat. Good to see him with his new home down there in Tampa Bay. Let's keep it on moving. Peyton, this is your boy Todd Gurley, number 30. He got the 2019 Offensive Player of the Year award for the NFC, and he brought home the 2019 Best Running Back of the Year award for the NFC. Let me know what's up with Todd Gurley.
So about this guy, Todd Gurley, man. He had 263 attempts. He had 1,935 rushing yards. He had 7.4 yards per attempt. But the one thing that stands out of everything, he has broken LaDainian Tomlinson's rushing touchdown record by 1.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's just amazing. Don't forget the 52 breaking tackles. That guy's a problem tackling.
So, Peyton, were you getting him going in the receiving game as well?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm trying to look at his stats right now with the receiving. It's not loading. My thing's kind of...
See, Gurley, he had 18 receptions at 324 yards receiving, as well as 3 touchdowns. His longest one was for 61 yards. This is out of the backfield, you guys. You guys got to do better out there in the NFC West.
So it looks like he only came out of there and got 18 catches, but for 300-plus yards. So when he came out of the backfield, they were big plays. So he was hitting home run plays. That's what Todd Gurley does. Moving on.
He averaged 20-yard a catch.
Yes. Moving on. Unfortunately, our last Lions user left the league. No, I'm sorry, he didn't. It was our Titans and our Texans. But the Lions up there in the NFC North, Kenny Golladay, best wide receiver of the year. This Lions user didn't take over until midseason, and he still was able to lead the league in reception. Lead the NFC in receptions, touchdowns, yards, bringing home the best wide receiver of the year award. Pepe, let me know what Kenny Golladay was doing up there with the Lions.
Kenny Golladay had 99 receptions, 1,887 yards, 19.1 average per catch, and he was averaging 117.9 a game. That's crazy. He had 20 receiving touchdowns, and he also had 573 yards after catch.
So pretty much they found the next Megatron. They are good to go. They've got their wide receiver for the future. Glad to see we've got a solid Lions user, and he's able to put up some numbers like this. So shout out, good job, Lions. Way to keep fighting.
He had the longest reception, I want to say, by a wide receiver, 96 yards.
Oh man. Yeah.
Also, he achieved superstar ability as well. He has one of the most dangerous ones. It's called Matchup Nightmare. Receivers with this ability make sharper cuts and frequently win contested catches when covered by linebackers and linemen. So you cannot use him with the Devin Whites and the Bushes or whoever else you're trying to use him with. You better get a DB on this guy or he's going to embarrass you standing at 6'4".
Yeah, and what's crazy is this Lions user took over a team that was like 1-4, 1-3, and he was able to rally around Kenny Golladay and actually get this offense rolling and bring home this award. So good job. Let's keep it on moving to the 2019 Best Offensive Lineman of the Year for the NFC, which was Andrew Whitworth. Old man wheelchair Whitworth, number 77. What was it like having him up there, Peyton?
Man, I call him Get It Done Whitworth. This man is 6'7", 330 pounds. I had to move him from left tackle to center, and he made a complete difference in the middle. He completely changed the game. He has, all year, he's only allowed 2 sacks all year. And his ability, he has secure protector, so that means blockers with the ability to reduce the pass rusher's chances of getting quicker block shed and move on the quarterback, or to the quarterback, excuse me. So yeah, he only allowed 2 sacks in 16 games all year. He has a 96 pass blocking, 92 strength, and 94 impact blocking with 95 awareness.
So what do you feel?
You know what's more impressive though? Not to interject, but you know what's more impressive though? The guy played 626 downs at his age. That guy's good.
And he's 37, right?
Yeah, 37.
Absolutely.
Wow. What do you feed that guy, Peyton? That's a big boy. What do you feed him up there?
Man, he can completely changes the game. I put him anywhere I want to, and I run through him, and it's over with.
Well, good deal. I hope he doesn't retire on your ass. You might want to start looking elsewhere because he probably will. Let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I love seeing these Cowboys get some awards. 2019 Best Defensive Lineman of the Year for the NFC. He was shutting people down. He was getting in the backfield. He was tackling people. Peyton, what was DeMarcus Lawrence doing? Let me hear these stats, dude.
So, man, he had 24.5 QB sacks. He had 12 tackles for a loss, 57 tackles, 19 assist tackles, and 38 solo tackles. Also, what's crazy about it, he had superstar X Factor ability at 27 years old. And his abilities, he has edge threat and under pressure with unstoppable force. So you can't go wrong. Like, he completely changes the game. He has 97 finesse move, 80 speed, 92 power move, 91 block shedding, and 95 awareness. This guy is something else.
He's getting back there. There is no stopping him. You're going to have to put 3 right tackles on him to slow him down. Moving on to the man who led the league in sacks, shattered the record, Khalil Mack, the Mack Attack, number 52 with the Chicago Bears. This trade that John Gruden made, it is backfiring in his face. Absolutely. He won the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year for the NFC, and he brought home the 2019 Best Linebacker of the Year award for the NFC. This is Jack Rouse. That's his PlayStation name, but it's Bruce. He's out in Houston. He started the year off looking really rough. He took a lot of beatings, but he started getting it together towards the end of the year, playing lockdown defense. He even beat a couple of heavy playoff teams, and he was hanging in there with some guys towards the end of the year. Glad to see him putting Khalil Mack to work. Peyton, let me hear these numbers for Khalil Mack because I know they're going to be
these
stupid.
stats don't make any sense, I'm about to say. So he had 88 tackles, and he had 43.5 sacks. That's damn near every time he had a tackle, it was a damn sack. That's ridiculous. He had 11 tackle for loss, and what's crazy about his stats, so he's 99 overall, superstar X Factor. He had 94 tackle, 88 hit power, 87 speed, 97 pursuit, 97 power move, and 99 play recognition, and 99 awareness. I believe he has the most traits in the game, which is completely crazy. But he has unstoppable force, edge threat, and pass rush elite.
So he's pretty much a 99 in every single category.
Exactly. I don't see anything where I can look and see where he's just like, nah, look, I can't. Nah.
Well, I'm going to have to hit him up. Maybe he'll send him to New York. Maybe I can send him my kicker in return and a 3rd-round pick. I might get lucky. Who knows? Let's go ahead and give another shout-out to these Carolina Panthers and that really, really good defense they've got. 2019 Best Defensive Back of the Year for the NFC was Budda Baker, number deuce. Peyton, what's up with Budda Baker?
Budda Baker, man. He had 67 tackles, 28 assist tackles, and 39 solo tackles. He had 5 tackles for loss. He had 16 interceptions, and he had 16 interceptions for 256 yards. Let's see his longest. I'm trying to see how many touchdowns he has. Yeah, he had. Damn, that's not showing. I'll just check.
You know, and I know
Budda had 3 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns for the year.
So he's bringing them back, taking them to the house, and I know he even had a 4-interception game at one point. So Luttrell is really good at using his guys. He's good at using the safety. He's good at using the middle linebacker, the outside linebacker. Perfect defensive back for Trell out there.
Yeah,
Send him my way, Trell. Send him my way.
Indeed.
His abilities, his superstar abilities. He got strip specialists, and he'll have another one at 90 overall. Another ability.
He is a monster. Well, last but absolutely not least, Dan Bailey, former Cowboy, now with the Minnesota Vikings. He won the 2019 Best Kicker of the Year award for the NFC. What was going on up there with Dan Bailey? Was he making his field goals? How many did he make? What's going on, Peyton?
So he was 13 for 14. That's 92%. His longest field goal was a 55-yarder.
So what about his? How did he look on his PATs? Did he miss a lot of PATs?
He was 43 for 45 on his PATs.
Well, I guess that's a no.
Yeah,
Well,
there's some players that in the NFC that kick pretty good, but I guess he got the best award.
So you guys, real quick, if you would, I know there's a lot of players.
One thing, Mikey. One thing we didn't discuss, and I just want to make sure we get it out there. There's another award that we must give a shout out to first and foremost. Peyton Brown, St. Louis, PB the God. He won Coach of the Year with the Rams, and the runner-up, believe it or not.
Who was the runner-up or the Coach of the Year? That's crazy.
Was this player, the Buccaneers, coach of the Buccaneers? He runner-up Coach of the Year.
Oh, nice. What about in the AFC side?
The AFC side, the Coach of the Year actually was Sonny, Chargers.
Wow. Okay, Lou Boo Dynasty.
Yes, indeed. Sonny with the Chargers. Good job, Sonny. Good job, Buccaneers. Kendall, PB the God. Good job.
So, a lot of people got awards. A lot of players had nice stats, but each of you guys, Sherrod, let me hear one offensive player and one defensive player from the AFC that didn't get any awards that you want to give a shout out to that you thought really played well this year.
I'll let the NFC go first, and then I'll let you know about the AFC. Go ahead, Peyton.
All right, Peyton. So
what do you say, one play?
Let me hear one defensive player and one offensive player for the NFC who didn't get any awards, but they showed out. They were close to getting an award, and they were really a staple for somebody's team.
Offensive on the NFC, I'd probably go with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he had a nice
defense, year. Yeah, he had a really good year. Defense, I probably would go with. That's a good question. I really did get a shout out. I'm not gonna give a shout out to myself.
Go ahead.
We already talked about Burns. Nah, I was just saying I got this 60 overall player. He was 6th in defensive player of the year. I meant 4th. I'm sorry. And I'll probably give the Leighton Van Der Esch at with the Cowboys. He had a pretty good year.
LVE. Right. He's got a nice defense out there in Dallas. A lot of good defensive players, and they're young too. So I think the Cowboys are going to be a force to be reckoned with for the future. So Sherrod, how about you? Let me hear an offensive player and a defensive player.
And I know you asked for one, but I'm going to give you 2 apiece. Pardon me. So AFC offensive players that surprised me. First off, you got this big Alabama guy, Derrick Henry, running back of the Tennessee Titans. New Titans user, you got a hell of a running back. That guy was causing a lot of problems this year. Also, new Texans user, Mr. Huggins. Mr. Watson, oh my God, he just achieved some more superstar abilities. This guy is nasty on offense. For defense, believe it or not, ironically, I'm going with the Texans and Tennessee again. The Texans, you got this linebacker, McKinney. He has 89 hit power. He was laying the lumber. Laying the lumber this year. You got Mr. Kevin with the Titans, DB. This guy was at every pass play. This guy is amazing. Texans and Titans, you guys inherited a pretty good team with some solid players. Put good use to them.
Definitely. They inherited some playoff teams. So speaking of playoffs, we're in the playoffs now. We're in the divisional round now. So if you would, Sherrod, please break down the AFC playoffs. Who got in? Who are the 6 teams? What happened in the wild card round? What happened in the divisional round? And what you expect going forward?
Okay, first and foremost, you got myself sitting at the top of the throne for now. Chargers is right on my neck. We had a bye week, I believe, and then you got the Titans. Titans, you inherited a playoff team. Do well with them. And you got the Jets, Le'Veon Bell. That guy is a problem. Then you got the Texans, Mr. Watson, and those guys. And then you got the Browns. These are the 6 teams that made the playoffs this year. So far, playoffs this year has been pretty interesting. We had some solid matches so far. In the wild card, the Browns played the Titans, and the Browns, he gave the Titans a beat, and I see why the Titans left. Texans and Jets. The problem was the Texans was receiving too much of Le'Veon Bell and Jamar Adams. Texans exited stage left. In the NFC, the Redskins and the Cowboys played OG, JT the Boss, and we got this new guy, Dallas, pretty solid guy. He has a lot of confidence. I can hear it when he speak. The Giants and the Lions. This Lions guy, he knows what he's doing out there. This Giants guy, he speaks confident as well. He knows what he's doing. Unfortunately, someone has to lose. The Giants beat the Jets, and the Cowboys beat the Redskins. Into the divisional, we only played one game so far. That's the Browns and the Ravens. Browns and the Ravens just played a few hours ago. It was scream. It was going pretty smooth. Little Birdie said the Browns was talking trash, and unfortunately the Ravens had to close them out. We waiting for the Giants and the Rams. They should be kicking off either tomorrow, hopefully tonight. Giants, get off work, say hello to your lady, spend time with the kids, and go on and knock off PB the God. We need them out the way. Jets and Chargers. This is going to be an amazing matchup, you guys. We have 2 best friends over a decade. Going to be going head-to-head and toe-to-toe, blow for blow tonight. One thing about it, Asian Persuasion Sonny, he will not be taking no mercy on the White Dragon. Cowboys and Buccaneers. Again, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I've seen those 2 talk to each other back and forth. They might be friends or buddy-buddy, I don't know. There's no buddy-buddy in division playoffs. Please, knock them off.
Thank you for the synopsis. Looking like it's going to be a really good playoffs. We're hoping to get done with it through the weekend. We don't have the schedule 100% set in stone yet for next week, but this is what we're looking like. We're in the divisional round right now, you guys. We should make it to the AFC and NFC Conference Championship games tomorrow night. We should get those knocked out tomorrow night and Sunday, and then hopefully have the Super Bowl Sunday. If we can get to that point, then we'll be able to re-sign our players probably on Monday. Then we'll probably go ahead and go on to the free agency stages Tuesday through Thursday. So we'll probably spend about a day or a half day or so on each free agency stage, all the way up into the draft. We're going to have the draft either on Friday night or Saturday night next week. So you can put that in ink. It's going to be one of those 2 days, Friday night or Saturday night. It'll be around prime time. We'll vote on the time, but it's going to be one of those 2 days. So the options will be, probably 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., something like that. Make sure you scout your players. If you can't make it to the draft, you can set your draft board up. The computer's going to draft for you, whatever order you've got them arranged. But one thing, you guys, try not to rush this off season. Use it kind of like as a little mini vacation, but still handle your business. Log in, re-sign your players. We don't do holds, so don't come at me and say, oh, hey, I forgot to re-sign my players. Please tell somebody don't touch Aaron Rodgers. It don't work like that. So re-sign your players. You had all season to do so. For all of you new guys, re-sign them in that one day that we have the re-signing period. Whatever you got to do, make sure you re-sign them. We are going to clear cap penalties at the end of the season. So what we'll probably do, we'll give everybody about a week or two to make some trades, make some cuts, finalize your team, how you want to get them, and then we are going to make the final complimentary cap penalty clears. There will be no more complimentary cap clears after that. It will be done only through the rewards. So stay on your toes. We got a lot going on this next week. We are going to have a really nice podcast next week. We'll probably have like an hour and a half podcast. We're going to interview the Super Bowl winner. We're going to go over the Matrix Madden Hall of Fame. For those of you who don't know what that is, over this weekend, probably starting tomorrow, I'm going to get with each person directly in the DM, and I'm going to ask you if you want to nominate somebody for the Hall of Fame. You can nominate an offensive player and a defensive player. They have to be top 5 in one category, and it's got to be something like top 5 in pass yards, rushing touchdowns, sacks, interceptions, something like that. But you can nominate one for offense, one for defense, and then we will vote once we get all the nominees listed. So, Peyton, you got
right.
anything?
And just a reminder, before we get too far away from playoffs, there were some honorable teams that did not make it, but I look forward to them making next year. And this is the Raiders. Raiders in AFC, Danny, you had one hell of a year. You kind of slowed down at the end due to some vacations, things of that. I look forward to you doing better next year. And for the NFC, I know PB the God, he having some technical difficulties at the moment, so I go on and speak on the NFC. The NFC, the Panthers, we have a dream team over there, Mr. Paper Trail. This is the keep it real section, and you're playing like a bum. I need you to do better. It's bricks. Your mouth was writing checks that your ass couldn't cash. We need you to do better over there, Mr. Bricks. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and I want to give a few shout-outs to some players that didn't get awards. Kyler Murray out there with the Cardinals. He wasn't really efficient, but I want to say he was like top 10 in rushing yards, for the season. And I'm not talking about just for quarterbacks. I'm talking about against running backs or whoever. Kyler Murray had a really good year. One of my dudes, I got to give a shout-out to myself, Robbie Anderson. I almost won the AFC Receiver of the Year award, so he was coming on strong. Sonny was doing really well with Melvin Gordon out there, but he got injured for a while, got banged up. Andrew Luck with the Colts, he was looking pretty good early on, but kind of fell off. Over in the NFC, definitely Ezekiel Elliott. He did have an injury, so that kind of hampered his production, but Ezekiel Elliott was a really nice addition for the Dolphins. Obviously, Devin White had a really good year. You had Cam Newton with a good year. Jameis Winston had a solid year. So really nice stats all around, you guys.
All around, definitely. And the Texans and the Titans. I want to give a special shout out to our new users, Texans and the Titans. Texans, Mr. Huggins, Titans, new user. You guys inherited some great teams. We don't need any excuses. We need you guys to come in, do your lab work, and show out, show us what you got. We DM and we converse. You guys seem pretty confident. I know Mr. Huggins, this guy has pretty been successful before. You guys, thank you for joining the Matrix, and we need for you guys to show out. What else you got left, Mike?
I think that's it, man. Everything went really well. Really good first season. We just need people to, keep staying involved. Make sure you understand how to DM each other, and just keep doing what we're doing. Really good first year. We kept it moving at a really good pace, so I'm really happy.
Speaking of DM, absolutely. Speaking of DM, guys scheduling. Now, this is on a serious note. We had a very entertaining podcast, but on a serious note, you guys, you have to schedule your game within the first 24 hours. You don't have to play it. You don't have to be available in the first 24 hours, but you have to schedule it. Schedule it. That means DM and in the chat, make contact with your opponent, or at least attempt to. If he don't reply back, have your screenshots. You guys got to schedule. What you guys did a hell of a job, but there were still some mishaps. We want to iron out all mishaps when it comes to scheduling. It ran pretty smooth. Everybody's very active, but we want to iron out all mishaps. You have to schedule in the first 24 hours. Also, streaming. Streaming for most of you guys in here is pretty easy. For you guys that's unfamiliar with streaming, only thing you got to do is sign up with YouTube or Twitch. Real simple. Only thing it requires is an email. It don't even have to be your personal email. It could be a bogus email as long as you have the password to it and the email address. And then you guys got to have solid internet. What you guys do, because you play online, so you should have solid internet, enough that's efficient. And if you're having any complexities with streaming, contact myself. Don't worry about contacting any other commissioner. Contact myself, and I'll walk you through it. But we definitely need to get the streaming. Streaming is Gamers of the Week. We have Daddy Leagues, y'all. You guys don't forget Daddy Leagues. It definitely will be maintained, updating more frequently now that Danny's back off of vacation. That's the rich guy, Danny. He's back. So we're going to update it more often along with the assist of the Jaguars. So look forward to Daddy Leagues.
And then to go along with that, so also the Buccaneers, so they've agreed to help out with the Daddy Leagues. I haven't had a chance to add them on, but before next season, the Bucs are going to start helping out with that as well. So we'll have 3 people handling the Daddy Leagues, and between those 3 idiots, we should be able to get it, pretty good. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Giants. The Giants stepped up and they filled in the open position on the trade committee. So coming into the off season, the 3 people on the trade committee are going to be the Colts, which is DNL 42. Then you've got Paper Trail, which is the Carolina Panthers, and then now you have Mad Cow Disease with the New York Giants. So if you guys have any trades you want to propose, you're going to have to send it to them, or a commissioner can transfer it to them, specifically myself or the Ravens. But if you look in the GroupMe chat, they're all going to have a T in parentheses before their team name, so you know the T is for trade. So thank you, Giants, for coming on board. We lost one of our guys from the last trade committee. And then the last thing I want to go over before I have you close us out, Sherrod, it's a little pet peeve I have, and it's people trying to get force wins. Do not come to a commissioner 30 minutes before advance time asking about a force win without providing evidence. Also, don't expect the commissioner to chase you down to find out if you have a force win. It's your job. If you guys don't send screenshots of the chat, if you guys don't contact us in a reasonable time, it's going to be a sim. If you're trying to get a force win, it can't just be where you hit them up one time and said, hey, are you free? And that was it. You got to try. Hit them up in the DM, hit them up in the chat, and you have to express your schedule. When you guys are scheduling each other, all this just want to run, that doesn't work, man. You guys got to be a little more specific. Let people know what your schedule is like. Whenever I schedule my games, I always put on there, hey, I work from 3 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. I can play after I get off work or in the morning. So I'm putting the ball in the other person's court. At least give a person some options as far as time. If you get on there and you say, I can play at 7:15 p.m., we're not giving you no force win. You got to make yourself available reasonably. So get better at setting up your games and know how you're getting your force wins. Sherrod, if you would, close us out with Matrix Unplugged.
Absolutely. And before we close it out, I also want to remind you guys, it's playoff times. We have seasonal rewards posted in the calendar inside the GroupMe, but there also will be some other rewards too. There might be a possible trophy. It might be a possible dinner treat or lunch treat. Just send the info, we'll send the food or whatnot. That is a surprise for you guys. Play good in the playoffs. Try to make the playoffs. Show out in the playoffs. We got some surprises for you guys come end of season. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. Myself, PB the God, White Dragon. Thank you guys for choosing the blue pill. Enter the Matrix. Love you guys. See you guys during the season.